As my sweet mother always said, son, if one hostage is good, two are better. And three, well, that's just good business. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Quotes His Sweet Mother. Today, let's talk about Hondo Onaka, the galactic legend pirate king that is going to take the holotables by storm any day now. And it'll be a little bit, but I made two thumbnails. Which one should I have used? You can tell me in the comments, guys. Huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I couldn't do this without you. You've made my life immensely better. Thank you so much for your support. I really couldn't do this without you. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm. Like those hostages and Hondo. That just sounds like the most sketchy thing ever. So let's move right along, shall we? So the question is Galactic Legend Hondo working on him early? Is it going to be worthwhile? Do we want to get him now? Do we want to plan on getting him in 6 months? Do we want to just like put him off for a long time? And so we're gonna ask a few different questions to discuss them, analyze them, all of that stuff as we usually do. So how worthwhile is the last Galactic Legend, which we'll talk about her in just a minute. What will the new Hondo cost? What's the value we're gonna get? And then I'll talk about the bottom line and what I'm planning on doing in order to acquire him, or potentially not. So let's get going. How good is Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, aka Glat? So we've talked about this a ton, honestly, on this channel. I whine about this all the time, and you guys don't need to hear too much about it, so let's try to move on quickly. She's the most expensive Galactic Legend so far. She costs not only a ton of relic levels, she also is just very expensive. She's expensive in the form of marquee characters. She needs, what, 6 total marquee characters? And that's a lot, because none of them are quick farms at this point still. They're, none of them are accelerated farms, I should say. And she's just very, very expensive. So, and she is a good Galactic Legend, as a lot of people say things like she's the worst Galactic Legend, she's the most expensive. They say a lot of really negative things about her, and I get it. I don't think she's the worst Galactic Legend by any stretch. I don't think people actually believe that. Though you might make the argument that she's the worst, like, for her total value in the game, because she's so expensive and does very similar things to what other Galactic Legends do. I mean, she's still good. She's just not transcendent, and for the amount of expense that you're paying for her, you're not getting too much for it. The worst part, of course, is she's not required for anything. It's not just like she's not an unlock character. Of course, Galactic Legends aren't that anyways, but she's also just, there's no events surrounding her. There's no raid. There's no like territory battle node. There's nothing. Like, even Afra has some territory battle nodes, right? she's got nothing. She's just like, yeah, I'm good. People are like, why else should I farm you? Like, what else is an amazing reason to work on you? And she's like, there is none. You should just work on a different Galactic Legend, because that's about the same value, except those other ones are required for other things, and you can use them elsewhere in the game. I mean, she'll still get you a lot of different cool wins in, like, Rise of the Empire, territory battles, in territory wars, GAC. Like, she's still fine. She's good. Just for the cost, she's very expensive, and there's no specific reason in game that you need her for at all. other than getting that purple currency stuff that we get at the end of Conquest. But whatever, man. So the question is, how expensive is Hondo going to be? The Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano is pretty expensive. How expensive is he going to be? So she costs 105 total relic levels. That's not counting Ezra, of course. I will say this: the best thing about GLAT is that they had to invent Ezra in order for her to exist, and so it's nice to have Ezra in the game because he is actually just a really good character, or annoying. Anyways, so she costs 105 total relic levels. To just unlock her, and so far half of Hondo requirements, we don't know the other half of them, are requiring 53 total relic levels. Of course, one of the next requirements is going to be a ship, most likely, of some sort. We don't know what exactly, and if that's the case, then it's looking like it's going to be a very similar number of relic levels. More to the point, Hondo, beyond the relic levels, Hondo's gonna require 6 new marquee characters, just like Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, which is, I mean, that just seems pretty standard at this point, right? Like, we needed 6 to unlock Mace, for crying out loud. Now we need 6 for a Galactic Legend. That's actually, in a way, it's kind of a steal. I mean, there are also some, like, hidden things in there, like Relic 9 on any character is kind of like, well, it's a Galactic Legend, okay, like, we can be okay with that. It's on General Skywalker, and it makes sense to some degree. Like, Anakin Skywalker interacted with Hondo a lot in the lore. I'm not fighting that at all. I guess the question is, how many new players have the requirements to actually unlock General Skywalker? You know, that's kind of a hidden cost. Like, that was a big discussion point back when Jedi Master Luke came out, and he required a ton of legendary level characters that also had their own unlock characters, and so it kind of expanded into, like, how many characters are actually required for Jedi Master Luke. And now it's not really discussed. No one really cares about that as much, but this is a very similar thing for General Skywalker, at least. So anyways, Hondo is also going to, like, require 2 conquest characters, which is different from the rest, right? I mean, like, maybe you don't really need Maz Kanata. I mean, I doubt she's going to be an actual requirement, and she's probably not even going to be on his team, honestly. I don't think so anyways, but if she is, I mean, one way or another, you're going to be getting all these pirates that she is going to be required for, like, their team, and so it seems like a huge waste to not to get all these characters unlocked and not work on Maz. And so in a lot of ways it does require 2 conquest characters, which is different from a lot of different requirements. I guess Leviathan had 2 conquest characters in the form of Malgus and his ship, but ironically, that's one of the most recent ships we've had released in this game. So anyways, what are we getting? Because Hondo is going to be expensive. That's fine. That's how it works. I don't know if it's fine, but you know, the question is it worth the cost, worth the price? So Hondo is most likely just going to be the same power level as Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. I don't see it getting any kind of spike. It'd be kind of weird if he was way more powerful than her. I mean, he can be. He might be a little bit more. We might see a little bit more power creep. That kind of happens, but I would hope that he would have, I think that if there's something he's more powerful than her in, it would be some way to manage your opponent's turn meter. Because that's the really sad thing about GLAT, is she's countered by good turn meter trained teams. So, like, even a Zori team is just taking her out if you know what you're doing. And so hopefully Hondo stalls that out. But I'm guessing he'll have weaknesses as well. And so another benefit is we'll have him for the raid for a little bit, and I mean, that is obviously a very strong reason to get him for some people at least. Other people, I mean, long term, he's not going to be relevant to the raid, right? Like I doubt he's going to be useful in any other raid for the conceivable future, which is fine. Like it's kind of the one of the things I would just not add as a consideration to why you should get him early. The raid, I don't think, is a persuasive argument, frankly. So otherwise, we'll get, I think, the one of the most intriguing parts of this is we're getting a new Smugglers Run 3 event, and it's going to be recurring, just like Smugglers Run 1 and 2, and it's potentially going to be really strong. Like, if we do get a new way to advance our roster in the next while, like some way to have better mods, like 7-star mod or 7 mods, or going up to relic 10, or something, you know, going up to level cap 100. My guess is the Smugglers Run 3 is going to provide some pretty vital resources for that we're going to really want or need. And if that's the only place to get them, at least initially without spending money, my guess is the Smugglers Run 3 is going to get pretty important pretty quickly. Like, we're gonna want that as soon as possible. And one thing I do usually just say is, we want as many things in this game that we can just hit the sim button as possible. We just want passive rewards if possible. Like that's going to be the key for a lot of farming strategies, is just getting these unlock characters and getting these event characters done, just so you can hit the sim button and move on. And I think Smugglers Run 3 is a great candidate for that. So what else are we getting? Obviously the usual thing that we get for galactic challenges and conquest, where the characters are required for different nodes to get certain points, and you know, it's like survive one battle with galactic legend Hondo. Okay. I mean, that's pretty standard. You also, if you want to spend money on these characters, which I'm not trying to shill here for CG, but if you do decide to go for this character early, and probably any characters moving forward early, you're going to get like I got this recently on my main account for I have a relic 9 on, like, Tano, the Rancor kit. No, I don't think it's the Rancor thing. I think it's on Kicks. Oh yeah, and on SM33 SME. And so that's all it took. I didn't really even put good mods on them, and this is what I'm going to be getting 10 total times now. Well, I think I skipped one of them actually, so another 8 times after this. It's pretty good rewards that no one else is going to get unless you're spending money, which, you know, you do have to spend like $200 a month on, maybe a little bit more. So I'm not saying you should. I'm not advocating for that, but it is something that we might be able to get. If you get these characters early enough, that's what you get. And I think one of the biggest and most interesting things that we haven't really seen take shape yet in this game is we can finally, with this new change to adding relic levels to characters that aren't 7-star yet, we can get use for characters way earlier in their release cycle than previously. So it's like, you know how we were all excited when the new clones came out, right? Oh, maybe not everyone, but like the dark side clones that were going to go with Lord Vader. And then a lot of people were like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'll use them in a year and a half when they're accelerated, and then I can actually farm them and use, like, now it's, you can just get them to relics pretty quick if you get them to 5 stars or something. You can use them way earlier, and that's awesome. That's a really cool thing. And they're giving a lot of free shards away. Like, you could plausibly get your characters up to 5 stars as free to play without it being a huge deal. And so you're able to use these characters at a way earlier level than everything. So it's a really interesting aspect to it. And honestly, like, they just keep pushing for us to work on new stuff. I think that's a point I make just a little bit later in the slideshow. It's not a PowerPoint, but it may as well be. So let's talk about that in a minute. So what's the bottom line? Should we just drop everything? Like whatever you're doing, just like stop. Don't farm anything else. Just work on pirates, or is it too early to tell? And I mean, obviously, it's never going to be a certain thing until he's released, and we've done testing and all of that stuff, and we've gone through the various threats of nerfing, and then they don't actually nerf it. All of those awesome things that we all go through, we've learned to cherish with CG. So. Anyways, we'll know more once we have Maz in the game. Like, obviously, she's kind of in the game already, but we can't use her until a couple more conquests out. Right now, it looks like she's going to be a pretty good leader for the other for like the sequel trilogy pirates. And so then we'll have two solid pirate teams, which is nice. Like, in order to get a galactic legend, it's nice if you get two teams out of it, right? In my opinion. And so the other point that I was just alluding to previously, CG just wants us to work on new stuff first. There's so many instances of this. Like they reduce the price to get new characters. They have just totally, they're just absolutely drenching us in Omicrons. If you're spending money on the new characters, on the new stuff, they're giving you like, I'm to the point where I might actually contemplate applying some territory battle Omicrons. Because I have so many of them, I don't know what to do with them. I can just spend them on frivolous things because they want me to work on new stuff. And that they just changed, like I just talked about, the relic levels going early on so that we can actually use these characters. We have focus datacrons that allow us to use datacrons with teams that are just like gear 5 minimum, which is obviously like anyone can do gear 5 on these characters. And I mean, the list just goes on. I really, this isn't the time or space for this video or for me to talk about it in this video necessarily, but they want us to work on new stuff, and the potential payoff for this working on this stuff early is kind of nice. I mean, it is really nice. Of course, it's all just speculation at this point, right? Like we don't know for sure exactly what we're gonna get for it. So, you know, should we just drop everything and work on pirates? If you're not gonna work on Hondo right now, then I mean, there's the obvious that like you have to kind of work on him right now if you want to get him, be ready for him. You know, you can't just be like, oh, you know what? Actually, I mean, I guess you could just hoard all your gear and just not work on anything, which is a miserable state of gameplay to be in my opinion. I hate hoarding. I know people call it Galaxy of Hoarding. I just, it's not for me. I just spend my resources when I can because it drives me crazy just having to sit and be patient. But, you know, you'll miss out if you're going to be working on other stuff. Then Hondo will be further down the line, and maybe Smuggler's Run 3 is crazy important, and you just miss out a little bit. So waiting to see if he's worthwhile, is, like right now, is going to maybe be like at least a minor disaster in the short term. And things are just changing. We just don't know. They have alluded to the next big release, which I mean, is it a new game mode? Is it them revamping an old game mode? My guess is that it's something along the lines of new characters and using new stuff, because that's been the theme for like a year and a half at this point. So who knows, but it just seems like having Hondo might be nice, frankly. So what am I personally doing? For my main account, I've been spending on the game again after about a year or more of just not hardly spending anything and being mostly free to play on both accounts. I'm actually spending again and buying the new characters as they come out because they're cheaper than they used to be, even when I spent just like crystals and did the light whaling thing on my alt account, which is my mostly free to play account. It's not all the way free to play, of course. I spend $10 to $20 a month on it. I'm going to probably just skip the clones, and I don't have Lord Vader anyways. I'm going to skip Jedi Vanguard, and after I finish my Leviathan farm, which is still a pretty substantial ways away, I'm going to be dropping everything working on pirates to unlock Hondo, because I just feel like he's going to be really important. Is that definitively true? It's definitively true that I suspect that. I have no idea, though. Honestly, I would be interested to hear what you guys' thoughts are. I do think working on him sooner than later is going to be worthwhile, but your mileage may vary. You can weigh the pros and cons here and come to your own decision. Guys, I'm going to let you go, though. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.